Just 6 years in, Geneva Watch Days 2025 already feels like a critical part of the watch industry calendar. Watches and Wonders is the huge party in the spring, but surely the hangover from gorging on so many watches at once has worn off by now. In 2020, Breitling, Bulgari, MB and F, H. Moser and CA, and Gerard Perregaux organized GWD as a bridge through the end of the year. Since its inception, it's been a home for smaller brands to showcase their talents and larger brands to display some of their more inventive fare. Geneva Watch Days experience left some that actually makes people have a closer look to these brands, that represents their new innovations and shows what their offering can attract to watch enthusiasts and collectors that can appreciate horology industries. Here are our recommendations for you must-see as a watch enthusiast. 1. TAG Heuer Astronomer. The Astronomer didn't just crash down like a piece of a broken satellite. TAG found justification in its archives for the space-themed timepiece. Back in 1962, while John Glenn orbited Earth aboard NASA's Friendship 7 spacecraft, he used a Heuer 2915A stopwatch. This was actually the first Swiss timepiece to leave the atmosphere. TAG dug back into that history, sent it through a time machine to 2025, and wound up with the Astronomer. All three versions of the Astronomer start with a silver dial as a base and then add in different accents: rose gold, black, and one that combines gray with turquoise. The watch's silver and black combination reminded us of what is one of TAG's most iconic pieces, and maybe our favorite in the brand's archives, the beautiful 2447SN. That chronograph's dial feels more balanced because the black accents are distributed among three smaller subdials rather than the big complicated display at the center of this one. But the moon phase function on the new Astronomer is a nifty feature. Once you figure out how to set it correctly, the watch advances every night at exactly 1 a.m. to keep you right on top of every wax and wane. More importantly, the combination of the watch's silver and black dial, the beads of rice bracelet, and fancy moon phase complication made this feel like a slightly more elegant variant of the Carrera. 2. Oris x Bamford. Watch Department ProPilot Altimeter. Mission Control. The new piece from Oris and Bamford Watch Department is also a favorite to come out of the fair. George Bamford has been on a heater this year. The watch customizer already has his name on what we consider one of the best pieces of 2025 after working with Gerard Perregaux on the Deep Diver. While the brand was once famous for customizing watches with a dark black PVD coating, remember when we used to say murdered out? He's recently leaned into color with huge success. The Deep Diver was exceptionally funky, and this new partnership with Oris takes the latter's ProPilot and lights it up with injections of neon green and yellow. The watch is also equipped with a unique function known as an altimeter, which measures altitude, and it works by registering the air pressure around it. To accommodate this function, this watch measures in at 47 millimeters. You know what that means? That's a big-ass watch. The new ProPilot is limited to 250 pieces and costs $8,100. 3. Czapek Antarctique. Rattrapante, R.U.R. Czapek's introduction for its new watch starts with a question. Will robots rule all our lives one day? It's a good one. The brand's new watch is so well done, we'd be happy to live under a robotocracy. Czapek designed the face to resemble the face of a bot, but the visage is much more Wall-E than Terminator. Not only is it a cutie, it comes with some useful functionality. When you activate the watch's chronograph, the eyes go from the blue base to yellow. Stop the timer and the eyes glow red. 4. Zenith Defy Chronograph. USM bonus points to Zenith for linking up with the most creative dance partner at the fair. The watchmaker teamed up with legendary Swiss furniture maker USM Modular Furniture and borrowed the brand's zany color palette for its new quartet of watches. These new pieces come in USM Green, USM Pure Orange, USM Golden Yellow, and USM Gentian Blue. That's not the only detail taken directly from USM either. Our favorite detail is on the seconds hand, where the tip carries a small ball joint, in homage to the metal tubes that are used to build USM's furniture. Somehow it gets sweeter. Each piece will come with a USM watch box that can store 12 watches at once. 5. Unimatic X Massena Lab Modello Quattro U4STSPW Unimatic and Massena Lab have spent the year in orbit. This is the third in a run of NASA-themed watches the partners have released together in 2025. The first two collaborative pieces came in a refreshingly bold shade of orange for the typically staid Unimatic. On this third collaboration, you can feel Unimatic rest-back mission control. The watch's sparse, matte white case is emblematic of the Italian brand's minimalist designs. However, this might be the most astral of all the collaborators' designs. The dial is made out of actual meteorite, a first for Unimatic. 6. Furlan Marri Disco Volante. Furlan Marri just released what we think are the best version of its Disco Volante. FM introduced this model with its stepped case that resembles a tiered cake into its catalog last summer. I really liked the versions it put out at the time with their tonal green, brown, and blue dials, but this new version runs laps around those original models. The new black dial, Disco Volante, with lab-grown diamond hour markers is so sexy. Once you see it in this black tie-ready format, it's hard to imagine it any other way. This version of the Disco Volante is especially great on the new mesh steel bracelet. 7. Bulgari 8 Finissimo Marble Tourbillon. This watch should have been introduced by Joanna Gaines pulling apart some comically large wooden panels. Bulgari has made marble a fixture of its brand in recent years, even turning out a watch made completely out of the stone for the Only Watch charity auction in 2023. Happily, the materials since made its way to the main collection to star on pieces like this new model with a Tourbillon at the center 8. Doxa Sub 750T, like Panerai and Breitling, which are famous for their brawny tool watches used by professional divers and pilots. Respectively, Doxa is facing a conundrum in the current era of watch collecting. These brands make big watches, and many collectors are gravitating towards smaller pieces. Like those aforementioned brands, Doxa is trying to keep up with modern tastes. In a press release, Doxa specifically calls out how it is refining its proportions to meet the expectations of a modern, discerning audience. The Swiss watchmaker isn't abandoning its fans. The Sub 750T still measures a whopping 45 millimeters, but Doxa dramatically reduced the thickness to a more wearable 11.95 millimeters. Most importantly, the new take on the 750T comes in the brand's signature rainbow of bright colors, from dive-ready orange to perfect sky blue. 9. Laurent Ferrier, Classic Tourbillon, Teal, Série Atelier. 7. Laurent Ferrier started his brand 15 years ago with his classic Tourbillon model, which is a mainstay in the watchmaker's catalog. For GWD, LF returns to this design and introduces this pretty teal shade. Just when you thought a watch couldn't get more elegant, it incorporates the colors of the Seattle Mariners. Love it. The watch will be limited to just 5 pieces, each of which will be numbered 10. Frederique Constant Classics Premier. Frederique Constant's pair of new classics is right on trend. The Bermuda gray and salmon keep the beat going on the pastel drum. But you can really feel the steam coming off the dial design, which looks an awful lot like certain executions of Patek Philippe's wildly popular Calatrava 96. The styling here unashamedly emulates vintage watchmaking's greatest classics. A press release reads, FC points out the swoopy Breguet numerals and the concentric railroad-style tracks. Those aforementioned minute tracks, paired with the flip-flop between the grainy finish at the center and the contrasting, smooth sunray finish around the edge, separate this watch from the restrained elegance of those early 20th century pieces. What these new classics Premier don't share with those beloved vintage watches is the elevated price tag. The Classics Premier comes in at a much friendlier $2,395. 11. Alpina Seastrong Diver Extreme Automatic. Frederique Constant's sporty little brother, Alpina, debuts 2 new versions of its buff dive watch. We really appreciate this model's commitment to the chunk. The case is bulky, the indices will be legible at the bottom of the ocean, the hands are oversized, and the lugs appear as if they used a picture of Chris Hemsworth's forearms as inspo. Especially like the mossy green variant of this new pair. If you found this video informative and get more open-minded about new watches that were making this horology industries more, get appreciation from watch enthusiasts all around the world, kindly hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on the notification bell to stay tuned to our channel for more exciting and informative